to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. Really want to spend a couple seconds giving a special shout out to all our supporters on Patreon for enabling us to continue to bring, the spiritual messages forward, and staying with us as we've transitioned from bringing the media news, the Matrix media news, to kind of going deeper spiritually, because that is the hour that we're in, beloveds. We are really at the most critical hours. And there's a famous quote that says, the most powerful weapon in the hand of the oppressed is the mind of the oppressor. And the oppressor has done everything. Colonialism, slavery was all about capturing our minds. And sadly, the majority of our people's minds are still in the hands of the oppressor, or are now fully in the hands of the oppressor, and then they willingly give their children by taking them to their education systems and then flying them out to their universities. And so, it's a very tricky situation. But as I keep saying, there's no hope to be lost, because enough of us have made it where we're going to make it. But of course, in this critical time, if there's still a few minutes, if there's still a few seconds, every crusader out there, well, not those religious, let me not even quote their names, but every person who has chosen to be here at such a time as this to elevate our people, and to return this melanated solar planet to its rightful rulers, will use even down to the last second to try and just speak sense and awaken the minds of our people. Because the minute you actually just activate your mind out of the matrix, you will start to see the cracks and the crumblings and how it just doesn't make sense. But I really try and avoid topics like this, because especially the people who seem to be deepest in the hands of the oppressor are the religious folk. And it's so crazy that the only place religion is growing, the only place Muzungu Christianity is growing, is in Africa. Babylon, they've even turned a lot of churches to nightclubs, to social halls, to offices, to art galleries, because they were empty. So it's only in Africa and Latin America where a lot of people look like you and me as well. And so the religious psychosis, beloveds, is so serious, because, it has made people people want to argue over everything. People want to debate everything. And we have to recognize, let me just be the one to break it down to you. Like the Bible, beloveds, there are a lot of truths, there are a lot of stories and symbolisms, but it is a weaponized book. It's a weaponized book for mind control, beloveds. Religion was a military operation. It wasn't about saving anybody. Do you really believe that the person who raped your grandparents and oppressed your people would tell you about a mighty God if he really existed so you could liberate yourselves? Do you really think that? You see, now it's the time to know, beloveds. Belief ain't gonna do it. Belief is not enough. You have to know and know and know. The greatest power you have given the Babylon system is your mind. The Roman Catholic system is your mind, beloveds. The Roman Empire is your mind. And, someone sent me this quote. And I didn't know if they were sending it to me because I get some crazy religious emails, so I really don't read them. But this really caught my attention. And it talks about, Deuteronomy 12 and, the one place of worship. Because what I was saying before I even get into this is that even the Bible has been weaponized. So whether or not it has stories about our people, etc., it has been weaponized to achieve a certain agenda, which is to completely control your mind and your spirit and trap you in a very infantile thinking so that you can never become the independent supreme being that you are. And this isn't just being done so that you don't grow up. It's being done so that certain entities can continuously feed on you and your next generation and your next generation. And it gets harder if you don't do the necessary work. It gets harder for the next and next and next generation, because freedom is not something that you inherit. Every generation must fight for their freedom, beloveds. And we always thought fighting for freedom was a physical thing, but the greatest secret is that it's mental. And you achieve so much more by working on your own mental liberation than you could ever achieve, going out on those streets sometimes. And so I got this quote, and for me, beloveds, the bloodline of my ancestors is very clear. I'm by Mount Zion, Mount Meru, in the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever they call it, the ancient Indian scripts, My ancestors, there was a tree, the Mugumo tree, the one that fell down recently just before Magufuli's death. They communed with that tree. Having interacted with that tree now, it's like a resurrection tree or something. There was so much nature healed and sustained them. I have recent ancestors that lived to 120, 130 years old. That's my great-grandmother. It's not even far removed from me. And they were totally in communion with nature. So when I got this, it really almost made my stomach hurt. And I want you to just listen carefully with your inner ears. So it says, these are the decrees and laws you must be careful to follow in the land of the Lord, the God of your ancestors, has given you to possess as long as you live in the land. Destroy completely all the places on the high mountains, on the hills, and under every spreading tree, where the nations you are dispossessing worship their gods. Break down their altars, smash their sacred stones, and burn their Asherah poles in the fire. Cut down the idols of their gods and wipe out their names from those places completely. So it was all about a spiritual takeover on this plane, where they destroyed every trace of our gods and then indoctrinated the majority of our people who suffer from this religious psychosis to think it's wicked. And it's crazy. I've actually been wanting to turn off the comments, beloveds, because some people are too far gone. And it's not about me, it's about them and who else they may infect with their religious psychosis at such a crucial time. But if you read this should make your stomach hurt, because they came to my people's mountain, Kirinyaga, and they destroyed every spiritual, and they're still here with their armies looking for God knows what. But because so many of our leaders are in this religious psychosis and in these fake Babylon secret societies, we're totally just, going round this hamster wheel. That's what they did to our people. They came and they destroyed any trace of our gods, and then they demonized our gods. Our gods, because we had one God. So they'll try and tell you your people worship trees. No, they communed with trees. And I saw, I was even seeing the comments when I talked about should people interact with their ancestors. The levels. Let me know what you think about this verse. I'm gonna stop here for now. Let me know what you think about this verse. It's about what they did to our people, beloveds. This should be so clear to you. Because the Bible is a living book of spells. They've mixed the old and the new. No lie can go out there without being clothed in truth. But a lie clothed in truth is more dangerous than any lie just like that. Anyway, stay uplifted. Tuko pamoja.